we're going to look at the 8 hands that you played this evening, and these are all about safety plays. Safety plays. Now, just a quick definition about what a safety play is. A safety play is one that will give you the best chance of making the number of tricks that you actually need, not necessarily the maximum number of tricks possible. So if you need 4 tricks and you could possibly make 5, well, the safety play tries to give you the best chance of making 4. And if you need 3 and you could make 5, well, it gives you the best chance of making 3. That's the essence of a safety play. It gives up the options of making over tricks in the interests of making sure you make your contract if you can. So that's what we're going to be looking at tonight. And board 1, a straightforward 3 no trumps. We won't go through the whole auction, but North plays this. Now, if you're on Zoom, please mute yourself. Okay, so we don't get interference from everybody. Okay, and the lead is a 4th highest, 7 of spades. Right. So this goes to the 2. West plays the king. Now, quite often we might want to duck that first trick, and if we didn't have the 10, then that would be the thing to do. But the way we're going to play this hand, having that 10 is quite important. So we're going to see now. Clearly, the clubs are going to give us the best. Oh, I'm sorry, should be 3 no trumps. I thought I bid 3 no trumps. Let's go back. Sorry, thank you, Linus. Thank you very much. Wait for. Right, let's bid 3 no trumps there. That'll do it, won't it? Right, we'll start again. 7 of spades. 2, king. Now, if we had ace queen small, we would probably duck this, but that 10 is quite important, and it means that if we do lose the lead to East, he can't afford to lead another spade, and that's going to be quite important. What's the critical suit here? Well, the critical suit is clubs, and that's where we're going to get most of our tricks probably, but we really don't want to lose the lead to West. Because what will happen if we take a club finesse and it loses, then what's going to happen? He's going to play a spade through, and now we're going to go off. So what can we do about it? Well, this club position is very interesting. If we play a club to the ace, now we can see what's going to happen as the cards lie. There's no problem at all. We play the queen, and we give East 1, and he can't attack spades. He'll play something else, and then we give him another clip, and we get home and dry. But of course, we don't expect that king to drop. So what's the advantage of playing the ace? Well, just imagine that the king doesn't drop. So we played small to the ace, and they're both followed with a club. But now we're going to play a little club off the dummy. Now, if West started with King X, then he has to play this king on the second round, and the rest of our clubs will be good. All right. And if he had King to 3, not including the Jack, well, then he would play low, and his partner would win the Jack. But now he can't continue spades. So we've still got time to set up the clubs. The only time when playing the ace will not work, and when in fact nothing will work, is when West has got King Jack X or even King Jack XX. So playing the ace gives us the best chance of setting this suit up. We play the ace. If the king appears, fine. If it doesn't, we're going to exit with a small one. And if West can win with the king, well, if West does win with the king because he's got king X, then the suit is set up. And if he plays low and East wins with the jack, because he's got the jack, maybe the king as well, well, he can't attack spades, and we've got time to play yet another club. So this is our best chance of making the number of tricks that we need. When the king drops, it becomes quite easy now. He can't attack spades. So what's he going to play? Well, maybe a heart. That's probably the best thing for the defense. Now we're going to play another club and win, and play yet another club. What's he going to play? Well, he can play a diamond. It won't do him any harm. We'll play a diamond, maybe. And we have sufficient tricks. We've taken 4 tricks. We've got the ace of hearts is 5, the queen of spades is 6, ace king of diamonds is 8, and the 4 of clubs is 9. So that's the way that we play this one to best advantage. We go up with the ace of clubs, and we don't expect the king to drop. If it does, well, that makes it easy. But if it doesn't, we're going to continue with a low club. And provided West does not start off with the king, the jack, and another one, then we're always going to get home. Much better than taking the club finesse and immediately seeing the spade come back, don't you think? Okay, we're going to claim our 9 tricks here. Here we go. And do we have any questions or comments on board 1? That's a safety play and a half, isn't it? One you probably haven't come across. Blue probably has. He's come across everything. Any questions or comments? No? Yeah, ask away. Any questions that you have, please put them to the table. I'll do my best to answer them. And if you put them to the table, everybody can see what the question is. It is very difficult. I couldn't agree more. It's not an obvious thing to do at all, Dorothy. But I'm sure you follow the logic now I've explained it to you. Okay, we'll move on to board 2. Board 2. To the table. Well, now we know what we're looking for. And this contract is going to be 7 spades. And it's going to be by East, so we'll just bid 7 spades. There's no opposition bidding. Yeah, I was a little surprised. I thought more people would make this, I must confess. But you're right. Only Ratner made it, as far as I can tell. Let's have a look at it. Leader's a queen of diamonds, we're told. Okay, now let's have a look at what tricks have we got. Well, we've got 2 diamonds and 3 clubs is 5, and 4 heart tricks is 9. So we've got loads of tricks. The only thing that can go wrong is if the spades are 4-0. That's the only thing that can hurt us. And if we think about it, if they're 4-0 with South having all 4, then we're going to go off. Because West has only got the ace to beat the jack and the 10. So we can't pick up the jack and the 10 if it's South that's got 4. So our whole concentration should be taking care of the contract if North happens to have all 4 spades. Can we cope with it? Yes, we can, as long as we start off with the ace first. If we start off with a small one to the king queen, now we can't do it anymore, But provided we play the ace first, then when South shows out, we know to finesse against the Jack and the 10. So really not that hard. If we think about the problem that way, what can go wrong, which is what Samuel was saying earlier, well, what can go wrong is that the trumps can be 4-0. If South has got them, we can't do anything about it. But if we assume that North is the only one that can hurt us, ace of spades first, and it doesn't really matter what South throws. But now we know. Now we can lead the 7 and we're going to run it if North doesn't cover it, but maybe he does. And we win. We cross back to dummy. And now we're going to lead the 7 and run that if it's not covered. So North, who must have fancied his chances against this Grand Slam, doesn't make a trump trick. Sorry, what did I do? Oh, I didn't put the king on, sorry. Yeah. All right, now we can draw the last trump. And we have loads of tricks. Loads of tricks. And that, I think, is probably one of the easier problems, because it's fairly obvious that the only possible loser we've got is a trump. And if South has got them all, we can't stop him making a trick. If North has got them all, we can stop him, but only if we start off with the ace. So we get the news that North has got them all, but now we can pick up that pesky Jack 10 and he doesn't make a trick. Okay, so that was board 2. As safety plays go, quite a simple one, really. Okay, do we have any questions or comments on board 2? Can I mute all? I tried to do this last time. I'll see if I can. Let me see if it...
How do you mute?
Trying to see... Right, I don't have a mute all when I'm sharing, unfortunately. Not that I can try this one. No, I can't find a mute all. Let's have a mute. And that's me. Participants. Let's try looking at participants. Mute all. Right, I've got it now. Okay. So all the participants have been muted now. Right. Sorry, I'm not used to that. Right. No questions, no more comments. We'll go on to board 3. Okay. And the contract this time is going to be 7 hearts. And I think everybody made this one. Okay. No opposition bidding. South is going to be in 7 hearts. And when this was played before, it went off more often than it made, which surprised me a little. Here, I think everybody was successful. So everybody made 13 tricks, which is to be congratulated. Okay, the leader is the Queen of Spades. Now, okay, we need to avoid losing a heart. If we lose a heart, we go down. We got to play these hearts in such a way that we don't lose one. Now, clearly, we're going to have to hope that East has got the king of hearts, because laying down the ace and hoping the singleton king is going to be with West is very much anti against the odds. So, yeah, all made this one, Sanya. You're right. Okay, so it's tempting just to lead a heart to the queen, cross the dummy with a club ruff. That's the safest way of getting to dummy. But if we do that, let's just have a look at it, see what happens. Well, let's get to dummy with a club ruff, because that's by far the safest way of getting there. If we play a heart to the queen, West goes out, and now all of a sudden East has got a definite heart trick. So playing a small to the queen is not going to work. Just in case East has got all three of them, we should lead the jack, not a little one. And notice the difference. We need East to have the king anyway. So if he puts the king on and West shows out, then we know to finesse against the 10 the next time. And of course, if West follows, the jack wins, whether it's covered. And if West follows, then the second one's going to drop anyway. They'll have broken 2-1. So does it help East to cover? No, it doesn't. If he doesn't cover, we let it run, because we need him to have the king. And now the lead stays in dummy, and we can finesse against his king next time. If he doesn't duck low, if he puts the king on the jack, because some people will always cover an honor with an honor. Shouldn't really cover this one. There's nothing in partner's hand that can be promoted. Now we need to get to dummy again. Well, club is probably still the safest, but we could get there with a spade ruff. We could get there with a diamond. We're trying to pick the one that is least likely to be roughed. And now we're going to finesse against the 10, which we know is going to work. And we can claim the rest of our tricks. Yeah, all made this one. All led the jack of hearts from dummy, which was quite right. Exactly. Okay, guarded against East having king 10-4. If East has just got the king and the 10, or even the singleton king leading the jack, doesn't help, doesn't do any harm. All right. Singleton king, his partner's got 10 doubleton, that's still going to fall. So leading the jack will let you succeed any time that East has got the king. Okay. Do we have any questions or comments on board 3? No, it's pretty much very much against the odds, that one, Jock, isn't it? But I know when people, see this as a problem, they're giving it as a problem, oh, we'll cash a few aces, drop a couple of singleton kings. Yes, I know the way you think, and it doesn't always work like that. No, all made that one. Well done. We will move on to board 4. And board 4, we're in 6 no trumps. And I have a little story to tell about this one, but we'll come back to that in a minute. 6 no trumps, no opposition bidding, and this is going to be by West. So we'll just bid 6 no trumps. I was well aware that there was an alternative line of play to this one, and I didn't think anybody would find it, but somebody did. Okay, yeah, well, for Lacris, Chris made it in a different way. I'll come back to that in a moment. Okay, 6 no trumps, and the lead is the Queen of Spades. Okay, one Queen of Spades lead. Okay, I would probably have led the 10 of diamonds, but there you go, or the 9 of diamonds if I'm playing strong 10s. I don't think I'd like to lead that honor, but nevertheless. So where's our tricks coming from? Well, we've got 2 definite spade tricks. If we need a third one, the 10 of spades is probably finesse in and going to win for us, because North should have the jack. We've got 3 heart tricks, so that's 5 for sure. 3 diamond tricks is 8. So we need 4 club tricks. And what's the danger? Well, if the clubs break 2-2 or 3-1, we can always make 4 club tricks. No problem at all. May have to give them 1, but we'll make 4. So the only danger really is if they break 4-0. Now, if North happens to have 4 clubs to the king, 10, 9, 6, then we can't pick them up. We can't avoid losing 2, no matter what we do. So we should concentrate our efforts on South possibly having all 4. And then we can do something about it. What we can do, we can lead the jack, and we'll run it if it isn't covered. But if it is covered, we'll win. And, well, let's see what happens if we do that. We're going to preserve the spade position. We don't know if we need it, but we can cross the dummy with a diamond. And we're going to lead the jack of clubs. We're guarding against South having all 4. Let's see what happens. He puts the king on because it'll be, won't help him not to. And North can throw a heart. Well, now we can play a little club from our hand and put the 7 on. That will lose to the 9. But we can see now that we have a finesse position. We have the queen 8 sitting over the 10-6. And if we lead clubs from dummy again next time, then we can make the 4 club tricks that we need. We've lost 1, but we will make the remaining ones. So that's the way we should play this hand. We should play a jack of clubs from dummy. If South doesn't cover it, and indeed if North wins with the king, well, the suit's broken 3-1. We don't have a problem anymore. We're only going to lose that 1 trick. So the only danger is when South has got all 4, and that we can cope with, but only if we lead the jack. Now, having said that, well, Chris didn't lead the jack. Let's put the board back up to the table. And Chris found a very elegant way of making the contract anyway. Let's just see exactly what he did. All right, so we're in 6 no trumps by West again. And just goes to show you should never admit defeat. Queen of spades lead again. And we win. Right, we cross the dummy with a diamond. I'm not sure whether he crossed the dummy with a diamond or a heart or even the spade finesse. I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter. Now, he didn't lead the jack. He led a little club.
I led a little club because I thought North has Queen Jack, and
Well,
I could finesse the
yeah,
jack.
Yeah, you can finesse the jack of spades. I agree. Well, eventually, this is what's going to be needed. But what happened? I will save this, and I'll go back and save it the other way as well, Sanya, for you in a moment, because I was impressed with this. Right, so the club finesse wins, but now ostensibly we've got a club loser, except this is what Chris did now. He took the spade finesse because now it's needed. And I'm not sure in which order he actually did this, but it doesn't really matter. Now we're going to play 3 rounds of hearts. And notice that South has to hang on to his 3 clubs. If he lets a club go, declarer can just play ace on another club, and that will do it. And now he played a club and ducked it. And poor South is now end played. Now maybe South could have escaped that by hanging on to the heart and throwing one of the clubs away in the later stages. But yeah, that's what I was just saying, Jock. If he hangs on to the heart, but he didn't. That's all I'm saying. Chris found a way of doing it. And if South hangs on to the heart and yeah, we cash the diamonds first, it doesn't make any difference. If South hangs on to the heart and comes down to king, doubleton, club and a heart, then you can't recover. Because if you play a club now and play another club, he's got a heart to cash. That's exactly the point. But anyway, well done, Chris, for making it. I will save it like this. So we'll claim this one. Okay, now I'm going to put it back to the table and play it the right way now. Because this way cannot be defeated. We've just been to 6 no trumps again. It may not be obvious to South that he needs to hang on to that heart. Right, the leader was Queen of Spades again. Cross over to dummy, and it doesn't really matter. We don't need the spade finesse if we get the clubs right. So it's likely to work, but we don't know. And now we're going to lead the jack of clubs. If North doesn't cut, South doesn't cover, then it's easy. So he will cover. We win. And now we play a little club. The 7. And from this point on, we can pick up the clubs. Doesn't matter what South going to play. Diamond, maybe. Won't play a club, I doubt. And now we'll play a club and we'll simply cover whatever South plays. And we can claim the rest of the tricks now. But well done for Chris for getting himself out of trouble. There was a chance and he took it. So well done, Chris. Oh, Chris is a she. I do apologize, Chris.
That's okay.
I do apologize. I don't know. I mean, some of these names, I mean, Chris and Chris and Chris and Pat and Pat. Oh, I get myself into all sorts of trouble. Anyway, well done. So leading the jack, well, you lead the jack because that's the only that you need to do that, Ratner, just in case South has got all 4. If they're breaking 2-2 or 3-1, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one you lead. You can always make 4 tricks. But leading the jack caters for South having all four, and here South does have all four. The essence of the safety play, we're giving ourselves the best chance of making the tricks that we need. We need 4 tricks. And if we don't lead the jack, we can't actually make 4 tricks. Well, we can if we put the 8 on the, if we finesse the 8 on the first round, but we don't know to do that. Well, no, I don't think we can. Let's try it and see. Let's have a look. Can we not cash the ace and then lead small towards the queen? Well, let's have a look. So 6 no trumps again we're going to be. Let's see what happens if we try to do that. Okay, so queen of spades. We'll win with the king, and we'll cash the ace first then, says Ratner. Can we not cash the ace? Well, if we do, let's see what happens, because that's what Ratner was suggesting. Yeah, okay. Right, now we'll cross to dummy and lead small towards the queen. Yeah, your queen's going to win. And now what? South has got 2 club tricks if you play them again. Ah, yes. Okay. I'm fairly confident that the only successful line is to lead the jack first when South has all 4. I think that's essential. If you don't do that, I think the defence can always prevail. Save it as it is. Of course I will, Sanya. Yeah. There we go. Okay, that was board 4. Again, this, it's as Sanya says, it's a matter of visualizing what can go wrong. If clubs are 2-2 or clubs are 3-1, there's nothing wrong. It doesn't matter. So 4-0 club break is the only thing that can hurt you, and it's the only one you can do anything about is if South has got it. So you play as if you expect South to have it. If he hasn't, then you're going to be pleasantly surprised and you'll make your contract anyway. But if he does, you've led the jack first, then you'll make it and a lot of other people won't. Any other questions or comments on board 4? Okay, we will move on to board 5. Yeah, what can go wrong? Well, that's always a problem, Sanya. What can go wrong, especially with competition hands like this, sort of quiz set hands. Then yeah, what are you trying to guard against? That's a really good question to ask yourself. Okay. Well, now we will discuss a little bit about the bidding here. So 4, 8, 9, 11. 1 no trump opening. This is an ACOL 1 no trump, sort of 12 to 14 variety. Pass. Not quite enough to come in with East. 2 hearts, transfer to spades. North does as he's told. I'm fairly confident what 5 spades means in the UK. What would it mean in the USA? And are those playing 2 over 1 or whatever, or standard America? Would it mean the same thing? For me, it says, I think we might have a slam on, but I'm worried about the spades. I need help. I need you to have an honor or 2. Yes, exactly, Rattler. That's what I think too. So that's what the 5 spade bid means here. Pick a spade slam. Well, you either bid it or you don't. If you've got 2 small spades, I wouldn't. If I got King X or possibly even Queen X, I probably would. But here, King X, I think, is very clear. I think it's worth bidding. I'm not sure how many made this, but I think at least one person made it with a little bit of wind assistance, a little bit of help from their opposition. So, well, you know, the lead is the King of Diamonds, is it? Oh no, the lead of Jack of Hearts. We're leading it from the other side. Okay, leads us to Jack of Hearts. Now we've got three made it, yes, but I think West helped them on their way. I think when South led a spade, West could not resist putting in the Queen or the Jack, and then there was no problem. If South is going to run the spade, then South is going to run the spade. But why should South run the spade? Well, let's have a look at what tricks we've got. We haven't got any losers outside of spades. We've got 3 heart tricks, we've got 2 club tricks, we've got the ace of diamonds and the rest of spades. So we just need to play the spades carefully, not to lose 2 spades. So we're going to win the ace of hearts. And we're going to play a spade. And we're going to run the 5. Why are we doing that? Well, if East can win that trick with, you know, anything higher than the 5, the Queen or the Jack, then the suit is broken. They're broken 3-1, and the rest of the other 2 trumps, they're going to fall under the ace and the king, and we've got no more losers. So the only way we can lose is to go up with the king. And now when East shows out, we've got 2 spade losers. And as I said, if South leads, the 5 is good enough, but if he leads the 10, say, if West covers it, no, it doesn't matter now. North is going to win and say, well, I've only got 1 spade loser. But if West plays low, same thing applies. We're going to run it, because if East follows, the suit's not dangerous anymore. So it doesn't really matter whether we lead the 5 or the 10. Maybe the 10 will persuade somebody to cover when they've got Queen Jack to 4. But it doesn't really make any difference, provided we're determined to run that card in the knowledge that if it loses, the spades are 3-1 and we don't have another loser. And if it wins, then we've held the spade losers to 1. West knows that East is void, yes. Yes, if West should show out, exactly, Ratner. If you lead a small spade and West shows out, then you go up with the king, and now you can control East. East will have Queen Jack 4-3, but you can stop him making 2 tricks now by leading small back towards your ace 9-8 or ace 10-9, whatever it is. It's the perfect safety play. Yeah, it cannot lose. Assuming that there's not going to be any roughs. I mean, you know, if we ran it and it lost to the singleton Jack, and then he played a heart back and his partner roughed it, that would be unlucky. Yeah, but this is what safety plays are all about. Exactly. Okay, do we have any questions, or let me claim that one? Do we have any questions or comments on board 5? We want me to play it on again. Okay, all right, let me put it back up again. Okay. Right, we'll put it back to the table. It's okay. We won't go through all the auction again. No. Okay. 6 spades by North. That's what we're in. Whoops. 6 spades by North. We got the lead of the Jack of Hearts. Now, if West does go up with the Queen or the Jack, because he knows his partner is void, he'll think, he doesn't know that that 5's going to be run, but he shouldn't. But declarer should let it run, because the only danger is West having all 4 now that he's followed suit to the first one. And now we can continue with spades now. And we'll just give West his spade trick. And we can manage the rest. There we go. Okay, so that was board 5. And it's simply, quite often we should, just say to ourselves, well, if I run this and it loses, then I don't have any more losers. The suit's broken 3-1. It doesn't matter who's got the 3 or who's got the 1. If they both follow and they win the trick, then the remaining cards are going to fall, regardless of how they're picked now. Could be 2-2, they could be 3-1. We don't care. Okay, any other questions or comments on board 5? Okay, we'll move on to board 6 when I can find it. And this is the one where one of our players inadvertently blurted out the answer. He spotted it as dummy and told everybody. Never mind, I'm sure we didn't do it on purpose. Let's have a look at it. We're in 6 no trumps, and this is going to be by East. 6 no trumps. And we get the lead. Well, we said the 10 of spades. I personally would lead the 9 of spades because I play strong 10s. The 9 from me would, if it was from length, say I've got the 10 partner, but I've got nothing higher. All right. If it's a singleton or a doubleton, of course, that won't apply. But I would lead the 9 from that holding, but the 10 is what we were given. Okay. What chances have we got? Well, we've got 3 spade tricks. We've got 3 heart tricks is 6. 2 clubs is 8. And, well, we've got at least 2 diamonds. Depends how they break. We've got possible finesse position in clubs. We've got possible break position in diamonds. If they break 3-2, we can make 4 diamond tricks. So we've got loads of different possibilities. We've even got the possibility of, for example, of a club heart squeeze or something like that. Okay, but let's have a look. What is our chances? Well, the diamonds surely should be the trick, the suit to go, because if they break 3-2, we're going to be home and dry. So we'll win the first spade in hand. We've got heart entries if we need. And we'll cash a top diamond. Now, the Jack has dropped from South, but let's imagine for the moment that that's a small one, that South has played a small diamond. They've both played small diamonds. What would we do next? Well, we would duck a diamond. And if they both followed to that, the hand is over, because now we're going to make 4 diamond tricks. The diamonds have broken 3-2. So if South shows out on that diamond, that means North started off with Queen Jack to 4. Now we have to abandon the diamonds. But we've still got control of the diamonds. We haven't cashed the king. So if we lose the lead now, we can't They can't cash a diamond trick against us. So now we're either going to need the club finesse probably. So we're going to have to play south for the queen of clubs, and then we'll either need the clubs to be 3-3, a bit against the odds, or more likely we would need a club heart squeeze. We'd need the same hand that holds the length in clubs to have length in hearts as well. That's not so likely. But when that jack of diamonds appears, the whole ball game changes. The 10 is in dummy, and if south has got a doubleton, maybe doubleton jack queen, that's all certainly possible, well, then when we play small with the 10, he'll play it and the rest of the diamonds will be good. And if south doesn't have any more, it doesn't take a genius for us to see that we've now got a finesse position against the 9. When we get to dummy again, we can lead the diamond and finesse the 8 of diamonds because we know north has got the 9 and the 7 left. So once that jack of diamonds appears from the south hand, this contract is 100%. Can't fail provided we play it properly. So doesn't matter what north does now. Well, maybe he'll switch to a heart. Seems a fairly obvious thing to do. But what tricks have we got now? We've taken 3 tricks. We've got 3 more diamond tricks, courtesy of the finesse. And we can cross to dummy. Let's cross to dummy and take that finesse. We're not going to take the club finesse now, of course. Now we've taken 5 tricks. We've got 2 diamonds is 7, king of clubs is 8, and 2 spades and 2 hearts. So we can claim 12 tricks. It doesn't work when east has the stack. You mean south, I think, Jock. You mean when south has 4 diamonds. Yeah, but south wouldn't be playing the jack, would he? If I play small towards the king and they both follow small, and then I play a small one and north shows out, you're right. I haven't got the diamond tricks anymore, but now I've got to hope that the club finesse is working. And that whoever's got length in clubs has also got the 4 hearts, I think. Or the clubs have got to be 3-3. A little bit less likely for south to have the 4 diamonds because he's led off with the spades, but he could easily have, yeah. But you're right, it won't work. We can't make diamond tricks. We cash the ace first. We're going to duck the second one, don't forget, regardless. But so north shows out, south wins, but now we know we've got no future in diamonds. But we've only lost 1 trick. And we've still, the clubs are still there. The club finesse can still work, and possibly a club heart squeeze if the same person has got length in clubs has got the length in hearts. Okay. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 6? No? And we'll move on to board 7. And again, no opposition bidding, and this time it's going to be south who is going to be playing in 4 spades. Whoops, no, that's not what I intended to do. Get back again. 4 spades, there we go. And we get the lead of the ace of hearts. East gives a count, so West will not play a 3rd one. That would be a rough and discard. He doesn't, but you know, it doesn't really matter, but he won't. he'll switch to a diamond because that's perfectly safe. And now becomes a question of how do we tackle these spades? Well, it doesn't really matter which hand we're in. How are we going to play the spades? Well, we're going to play them in such a way that if either of them has 4, we're going to limit our losses to just the 1. All right. If we lose 2 spades, we go down. So first of all, let's assume that West has got 4. So what we will do, we will play the ace of spades, and then we'll play a small one. And when West follows, we will put the 9 in. If that loses to the 10 or the queen in the east hand, the suit is broken and we won't have any more losers. But now let's assume, we'll play the ace first. And when we play a little one, West shows out. So it's East that's got queen 10 to 4. Well, that's no problem. We go up with the king now and we lead a little one towards our Jack 8. And again, East now would be limited to 1 trick. So provided we start off with the ace of spades and play a small one towards dummy, this is what we're going to do. Another perfect safety play. Now, as it happens, when we play a small one, West follows, we put the 9 in. If that loses, then the remaining spades will fall under the king. But if it wins, West is limited to 1 trump trick. And if we go back and assume that West shows out on that second spade, now we will go up with the king and lead the 9 back towards our hand, and it will be East that will be limited to just 1 trick in the suit. So the safety play with this particular combination, ace first, small towards the 9, intending to finesse the 9 if West follows, and going up with the king and playing the 9 back if West shows out. So, well, we have played small towards this. We're going to play the 9. Doesn't matter what East throws. Now we'll cash the king. And West can make his queen of spades when he feels like making it, basically, because that's going to be the only trick he's going to make. We can give it to him, or we can carry on cashing clubs or whatever. But we're going to make all the tricks except one. We're going to give him the spade. So that was board 7, and another perfect safety play. We cashed the honor. Yes, indeed. Exactly, Ratner. Yes. You can see the problem here. We're missing the queen and the 10, and we're guarding against either opponent having both of them with 4 cards in the suit. So once West follows to the second one, only he can have 4 now. So we'll put the 9 in. And if that loses, the suit is broken. He won't have 4. And if it wins, we've limited his tricks. Do we memorize them? Well, yeah, the good players recognize them because they've seen them so often before, Ratner. Yeah, you do tend to you say, oh, I've seen this before. Yeah. You ask Jock's seen a lot of these before. And I'm sure he relies on his memory, maybe failing a little bit now. He's getting on a bit, as we all are. I told him, getting old sucks, but the alternative is worse, I'm told, so. But yes, I memorize them and I see them and I know what to do with them. You may well be right there, Ratner. I don't know. Right, Jock. Okay. Do we have any more questions or comments on board 7? Okay. Now we'll move on to board 8. And in many ways, board 8, I think, is a lovely hand. No opposition bidding, and we're going to finish as West in 6 hearts. Oh, I'm sorry, I've made it south, haven't I? I didn't do what? This is, we haven't moved on to board 7. Oh, sorry, I've got ahead of myself. It's 4 spades by south. That's the one we've just done. I haven't switched to the next board. I need to find board 8. Here we go. Oh, you can't get the staff, you know. You are Sonia. Yeah, thank you, Ratner. Okay, 6 hearts we're going to be in by West. I think this is a really nice hand and a really instructive hand, I think. And yet, most of you will have seen the technique in this hand several times before, I'm sure. Okay, 6 hearts and we get the lead of the king of clubs. Okay, what have we got? Well, we've got 5 heart tricks. 1 club trick is 6. We could ruff a couple of clubs. That would give us 1 extra trick, I think. There's 7, 8, 7, and we got well, we've got finesse positions in diamonds, and we got finesse positions in spades. Which one should we do you think? Or maybe we shouldn't do either. Well, those of you that are familiar with safety plays will recognize this diamond holding straight away. Let's just work out what tricks we need. We've got 5 heart tricks, and 1 spade trick is 6, and we've got 1 club trick is 7. We can ruff a couple of clubs in. We can ruff 3 clubs in our hand in theory if we had the entries to get there. But we can afford to lose a trick. But do we take the diamond finesse and or the spade finesse? Now, the chance of one of those working is 75% or thereabouts. That's pretty good odds. But we can actually improve upon that. And this diamond suit is the key. What we're going to do, we're going to draw the trumps. And we can draw another one. Oh, well, trumps are 2-2. And now we're going to play 2 rounds of diamonds, but we're going to play them the king first and then the ace. And if nothing exciting happens, if they both follow, then we will lead small towards the jack. Now, what will happen? If South has got the queen, then the finesse would have worked, but we're going to make 3 diamond tricks anyway. And if the suit breaks 3-3, regardless of who's got the queen, we're going to make 3 diamond tricks, and that will get rid of our spade loser. But what we gain most of all is when North, as here, has the queen doubleton. When taking the finesse would not have worked. So what we've done, we've given ourselves the best chance of making 3 diamond tricks. If the finesse would have worked and both have followed to a small diamond on this second round, then we lead the 6 towards the jack. And if South's got the queen, then our jack is going to make a trick either now or later, and we will have made 3 diamond tricks. All right. And so if South takes his queen, then we make the jack later and we throw the spade away on it, and we don't have a spade loser. And if the South doesn't have the queen and North still has it left, well, now North wins over the jack, but the suit has now broken 3-3, and again we can get rid of our spade loser. So this is another safety play that will give us the best chance of making 3 diamond tricks. If the worst happens, if when we play the second round of diamonds they both follow, and then we play small towards the jack and south shows out, now we can't make 3 diamond tricks, but the spade finesse is still there. We can still take the spade finesse, and that will still give us our tricks. So we're giving ourselves the best chance. If the diamonds can produce 3 tricks by cashing the king, the ace, and then lead small towards the jack, we don't need the spade finesse. If North turns out to have 4 diamonds to the queen, or more, of course, then we can't do that. But we can still fall back on the spade finesse, and that'd be the best chance. And we said, yeah, okay, well, because the queen has dropped, now we don't have a problem anymore. We're going to play a little diamond to the jack. And now we're going to come back to, whoops, no, sorry. Come back to hand with the diamond ruff. And we're going to take the spade finesse for a possible over trick. It loses, but we don't have any more losers now. We can ruff the other small spade, and then dummies, and then West has just got trumps left. But we'll play it through. And now we can claim because we've just got 3 trumps left and nobody's got any more. Okay, so the safety play on this hand revolved around the diamond suit. And this is something, king jack to 4, opposite ace to 3. Your best chance of making 3 tricks, not 4, 3, is to cash the king and the ace. And if the queen has not appeared, then lead small towards the jack. You'll make it if the suit breaks 3-3. You'll make it if South had got the queen, or the hand under the king jack has got the queen. What you will have given up, of course, is the possibility of making 4 tricks, because South, when all said and done, South might have queen to 3, and then you can finesse the jack and the ace and the king drops the others, and you finish up with 4 tricks. But here we have the essence of the safety play. It gives you the best chance of making the number of tricks that you need, not the number of tricks that you'd like to have. There is a little bit of a difference. Okay, do we have any other questions or comments on board 8? Well, I have to say, Sanya, that if we're playing match points, then there may be an argument for taking the diamond finesse here, but only if we think everybody's going to be in the slam. Because if we don't think everybody's going to be in the slam, then just making the slam is going to give us a good score, and we should take the safety play. If we think everybody's going to be in the slam, then there may be a case for taking the diamond finesse and or the spade finesse, and hoping that 1 out of 2, because sometimes they'll both work, and sometimes the diamond finesse will work and they're 3-3, and then you finish up with all the tricks. But here in the lessons that we're talking about here, these are all imps. For me, I know Alan, when he does his squeezes, he will tell you you're playing match points here, so over tricks are important, and you may need a squeeze to get the over trick. Here, we're only concerned about making the contract. Okay, next week, I will be back next week. Alan will be with you in a fortnight's time with some more squeeze hands. But next week, we'll have some more hands on the same subject, safety plays. More safety plays coming up next week. So if you think you've learned them all tonight, come back next week and show us what you learned. We'd love to see you. Okay. If we don't have any more questions or comments, I shall wish you all a good night.